Hey gang, Raven the Devil here again. Let me scoot a little forward. I heard the last video was a little low. Well, another one in the same week. Holy crap, I'm actually trying to take this thing seriously. Anyways, welcome back or welcome to Raven the Devil on YouTube. And I'm working on a few other sites as well. So if you're seeing this in replay or you're seeing this after 2023, thanks for finding the video. Former radio host online and terrestrially. I crossed over from internet to terrestrial. And now with this channel, I'm just giving out what I've learned in hopes of eventually, while I run my mouth, I'll build a podcast. If you guys find that enjoyable, push buttons that they tell you to push. Otherwise, hang on a sec. We're going to talk about a truly heavy subject coming up in just a second. I'm going to go down here for a second and get something. I'll be right back. All right. You're back again, or welcome for the first time if this title caught you. So I've talked about in my last few videos a lot of life changes I've gone through. And probably learned to slow down for these things like I'm doing a voiceover read. I'm skipping words, I've noticed. Radio guy trying to learn to do video, bear with me. I'm still trying to get all this figured out. But I've mentioned my car accident, which I have a video about now. Part of my journey during this, and chronic pain is a really big one that I live with. And navigating life with chronic pain, it has its ups and downs. And for me, the biggest ups and downs is my weight. I have gained and lost from 200 to 720 pounds, down to 320, up to 650, and now down to, again, around 350. I'm publicly giving you those numbers since the accident. But this shirt, I've kept it to represent this current journey. I wore this shirt, ironically, on the day I got married. No, I didn't do a suit and tie. No, I didn't do a church. That would have set me on fire, and I have enough problems in my own life. I did the courthouse. And I went to the courthouse, and this was the shirt I had on. You see how much more shoulder there is? It kind of fills up the frame. Let me back up a little bit. I can use it as a curtain. This was me. Shoulder to shoulder, that extra size was solely my stomach. I'm 5'11" on a good day, 5'9" on a bad, depending on how bad my back is compressed. But this was me. 650 pounds, 300 pounds ago, for lack of any other reason except that was 300 pounds ago. And I started this journey in 2019, 2020, during the height of the pandemic, when fat people, COVID, COPD, and diabetes were targets of COVID. So I'm not saying one way or the other about anything that went on during the pandemic. I have nothing to say there. It's not my opinion. You did what you did. I did what I did. Our doctors told us what to do. Listen to the science, you know. Anyways, the point I'm getting at is, for me, this wasn't acceptable anymore. I mean, I just rolled the collar down. This is shoulder to shoulder right here in front of me. I can now wear it as a dress. Anyways, I'm quite proud of this fact, even if I'm rocking on a thing that I'm caught on with my chair, but I wanted to pull up to do the rest of the video. Anyways, chronic pain, still trying to figure this out. It all looked good in my head at the time. But that shirt back there was 2.5 years ago and 300 pounds ago. Working with my doctor, Dr. S, not outing him again. I saw a gastroenterologist 2 years ago for my 35-year-old gastric bypass, and they didn't even return my call after the first endoscopy. And earlier this year, I had the infamous double ender for anyone over 50. I went in the throat and up the butt and came back with good news for the most part. I find out at the end of the month what they found on my stomach. But weight loss. It's a taboo subject, so to speak. I have a little short I'll be posting this week I did last year of the grumpy old man saying a bad word. But this may sound funny from somebody who's been fighting the battle of the bulge in an era where we're finally accepting obese people into normal society. As it being the only group other than handicapped you can join willingly. And handicapped you really don't get to join if you're hurt like I was. You get sent to that group whether you want to be there or not. It's how you view it afterwards is important. And I didn't view it well for the longest time. I was immobile for 5 years. Over 200 pounds, 720, feeling sorry for myself. Wasn't until my kid's mother left and I started the Vault of Metal did I even realize what I was doing to myself. And even then I didn't care. By that point, by 35, when I was 2005 and beyond, getting on my way all the way up to the top that I reached. It wasn't enough. I tried to lose weight. I tried to look good, but I just didn't care. I didn't want to stop the bad habits out of selfishness. And on the other side, I wasn't happy with myself, and I didn't see a reason why I should bother with all the effort of fighting the weight problem as I got older if I was just going to be dead in a few years anyways. I've come to believe that there's no such thing as a jolly fat person, and I'm a jolly human being, but I'm not a fat person. I'm just a person trapped in a fat body. I identify as a skinny person using modern vernacular. I identify as a skinny person trapped in a fat person's body who needs to go on a diet. You want to use modern vernacular, there it is. I believe in fat shaming, for example, and I don't believe in abuse. So don't sit there and get on some high horse about what, if, and, or but. The schoolyard bullying I had in my childhood where the teachers didn't have to intervene and we settled it with our fists and a few scuffs and scraped knees made me a stronger person than if I was in a bubble-wrapped room on the other side of a screen where nobody could interfere with me at all. I'm a stronger person for conflict. I believe conflict breeds strength, and I don't think for a second that anyone can... sorry, I'm thirsty. For a minute, I cannot say for a second that no one out there cannot learn these things. I was the biggest deflector of responsibility. I always had someone else to blame. My parents, the world, the police, the universe, you name it. It was not my fault. Now, I haven't done a video yet about rational recovery because I don't have all my paperwork. It's somewhere in this house being unpacked. And when I find it, that video will happen. But until I don't have reference material, I don't want to go into all the steps that I went through. But in Rational Recovery, when I first started reading it, it said this could apply to obesity, it could apply to sex addiction, it could apply to drug addiction, alcoholism, anything. Whatever you're doing that's bad for you. The first thing you have to do is take responsibility for your actions. If you're overweight, put the fork down. If you're an alcoholic, put the drink down. If you're a drug addict, don't do the drug. But if you do choose to do the drug, you're not a victim. You chose to do this. The power of the piece of your brain that has the power to control this is powerless to the rest of your body. It can't control your arms, your legs, or anything. It convinces the rest of you that you need this thing, and out of fear, it freaks out and paralyzes you, and you do the bad thing, and then you beat yourself up, and you get into this self-repeating, spiraling cycle of self-hatred until you eventually get to a point where you've found it's okay. You reason out. Now, this is me speaking for me, but I found that this is consistent among most people. When you start to spiral and there is no help and there is no parachute, you continue to replicate the bad behavior until you find a way to make an excuse for why it keeps happening. And you don't take responsibility for your role in it. I didn't. I know this for a fact. So I'm not sitting here wagging a finger at anybody saying, oh, I'm better than you. What I'm saying is, if an idiot like me can figure this out, who can't? And I let chronic pain, destroyed back, traumatic brain injury, a stammer and stutter with a slur sometimes, because I do have that back, mood swings, migraines, light sensitivity, and some of my more favorite things, social anxiety and agoraphobia. Unless I'm in a nightclub or doing something that's an entertainment appearance, I don't like being out in public. Something I force myself to do every day, and I mock myself for it. I believe in self-abuse, not self-harm. I believe in holding yourself to a standard and living to that standard, good or bad. If it doesn't hurt anyone, your standards for yourself can be whatever they are. Me, I hold myself to impeccably and impossibly high standards. I don't expect to fulfill 90% of them. But if I reach for the stars and catch a planet, I at least got out there and did something. So for me, I don't want to be a sleepy and permanent planet. I want an exciting life. I want a better life. Now, my body wasn't letting me handle it. And I used to say, well, I was broken and with my pain and my back and, I can't do much anymore. So I just do what I couldn't in a video game. And for a while, people were like, yeah, man, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's great. Till I passed 500 pounds. Then my friends were telling me things like touch grass. Well, back in the 90s, hey, big boy, why don't you get outside and go for a walk? You can't walk. It's kind of hard. Had to relearn these things through physical therapy and hard work in these last few years. My trainer, Julie, was amazing over physical therapy for the first year. I miss her. I hope when I go back I see her so she can see what's happened since then. But I started physical therapy and I started exercising and I put it out on the internet. I use DDP yoga, which I'm going to go into. I'm eventually going to film me doing it. But chronic pain slows me down most days. So I changed my diet. I did things like I got rid of bread and sugar. It's stupidly easy if you don't like the stuff in the first place. Just don't eat it. Drink more water. Common sense stuff. Then find things you do like that are healthy and eat more of those. Fruit. Watermelon, stupidly filling, low in calories. It's a great snack during the day instead of popcorn and potato chips. You just change your habits. If you want to live a longer life and you have a reason for a longer life, you find a way to do it. You make new excuses. If you need an excuse, make a more positive one. But I believe in body shaming. I do. Ultimately, because it's not the abusive part. Because if it gets to the point where somebody won't stop when you ask them to, it's not the same as a random stranger off in the distance. Now, I could tell you when I couldn't walk and I had used the electric grocery cart, I would go at 3 o'clock in the morning. The pandemic ruined that for me. It was like having to go at 9 o'clock in the morning masked up, all 650 pounds of me riding on that electric grocery cart like I was waiting for a Jerry Springer rescue. Young girls and boys laughing and pointing at me before most of the gray had set in. I made excuses. I didn't make changes. I made excuses. And then I used drugs and alcohol to mask my true feelings. And then it led me to a path where I got locked up for something I didn't do because I was too drunk to realize what was going on at the time. You make enough excuses, you start to believe your own BS. And I did. I certainly did. And like I said, I'm no prince. I've done a lot of bad in my life. Hurt a lot of people, and these videos are part of my way of saying, look, I've evolved. I realize what I've done wrong. I don't ask anyone I've done dirty to ever forgive me. Because anyone who's ever done me dirty ain't getting no forgiveness from me. So I don't expect it from anyone else. If somebody sees one of these videos, reaches out and says, hey, man, that was whatever, thank you, God bless you. But that's not why I'm here. But the journey to lose 300 pounds started with believing these things, with saying them out loud, with saying things like, up, Simba, up, come on, big boy, get moving. Come on, fat man, let's roll. I say these things to myself all the time. I shame myself in the mirror. I shame myself when I find myself idly browsing the refrigerator for the 5th time in a day. I shame myself when I drool at a fast food menu as I drive on by it, because I know it's bad for me. Sometimes you have a cheat day, and I don't guilt myself on a cheat day. But the rest of the time, I am loyal and I stay stuck to it. I've made healthier changes. I go for walks when I can. I exercise. I do things. Because you know what? The thing about fat shaming and body shaming is this. The people on the other side aren't making fun of you. They're making fun of your problem. Your problem not being able to come and hang out with them, to go party with them, to go have fun with them. Because I've been on both sides of this coin, and I can tell you the skinny active side is way more fun. Whole lot more fun. Sitting at home in a chair playing a video game, you should be doing that if you're broken or a senior citizen. You shouldn't be doing that in your 20s and 30s. I didn't. I didn't start playing games until after the Vault of Metal. I did it when I got hurt, sure, because I had nothing else to do. And then once I started doing the Vault, for almost 11 years, I didn't play anything. I didn't do anything but the show. Because I was hungry, passion, like I talked about in the last video. But now, I'm in my 50s. Even if I want to work round the clock, I just don't have it in me with the injuries and the pain. So I have to do something when I can't do nothing. That's what I save those moments for now. And now I'm filling them by doing these videos, ridiculous as it seems. Keeping myself busy when I should be taking a nap is yet another thing in my rationale, my recovery, if you will, my road, my journey, my hero's journey. I'm not satisfied with just being okay. I need more. What about you guys? You let me know in the comments. I leave them open. This is just the beginning of these thought experiments of mine. I'm just going to keep running and rambling as I build around me. Making a few videos in advance if I can. Trying to dodge the four-legged co-hosts that I have running around me right now. And, just try to figure this all out. But yeah, I use this self-abuse, if you will. I do believe these things. I really do. I mean, because if you look at it only at a negative, if you only focus on the negative, oh, it's fat shaming, oh, you're being negative about... No, I'm being negative about this situation. I want to be over there. I want to be in the better situation. And the way do I get there? I got to motivate myself. And I'm a metalhead. I mean, come on, I grew up in the 80s and listened to metal. We didn't have Feel Sorry for Yourself songs in the 80s in metal. We had Ride the Lightning. We had, Hello from the Gutter. We had, Blow Your Speakers, Fighting the World, Raise Your Fist and Yell. I could keep going on. 2 Minutes to Midnight. There were Die With Your Boots On, all sorts of stuff. You just had this motivation attitude. And you know what? Like I said before, CJ Ortiz, the metal motivator, has it right. If you use metal ideas of never giving up, fighting to the end, don't back down, never settle, you get somewhere in life. It's like the Sith Code. Yeah, the Sith Code, Star Wars. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, my chains are broken. It makes sense. It's common sense. And apparently, my energy is riling up the canines of the vault. But, before I release the hounds today, my self-fat shaming motivated me to be doing this video, lose 300 pounds, and get to this point. It wasn't easy. Ending up in the hospital on 5 separate occasions and not having an answer as to what was wrong with me. Dehydrating at random for no bloody reason whatsoever, and excruciating pain and contraction-like feelings. I don't know. But I do know I'm getting scared of them, and I know I'm tired of feeling them. But the first step in getting better for me was 3 300 pounds. I finally hit it. 350 pounds of piss the F off has almost lost 350. And when I crest that full 350 and get below it, will probably be around the time they take the skin. Yeah, one of the things I plan to document on this channel with all of this project is when I go through the process of having my torso, legs, and arm surgically sliced off so I look thinner and get some pain relief. I want to document the process for anyone in the world who may be thinking about or are planning to have one of these surgeries. You know, I can only do what I can do. I can only reach who I can reach. So if you like what I'm doing, like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends. Trying to put a positive message out in the world instead of just being a grumpy old man all the time. So thanks, everybody. I got more talking about the weight loss in the future. Right now, just, you know, if the message of the day is if I am able to go out with chronic pain, a walker and a cane, and can lose 300 pounds after losing it all, after everything I've been through, and only the beginnings of which I've started to tell, what's stopping you? I'm nobody special. I'm just a guy who took a chance. That's why I am who I am. Take your chance, folks. That's what these are about. And I'll be back in just a little while.